Howdy, y'all. Welcome to HazeandBarrelCraftworks here on the Haze and Barrel Homestead and our humble whiskey room. I'm the Alchemist. And today I thought we would try a Bavarian single malt whiskey. I was able to spend a little bit of time in Munich, and when I was in Munich, I was able to visit the Slyrs distillery. And while at the Slyrs distillery, I was able to try a lot of different of their whiskeys, and this whiskey was not one of the whiskeys I tried. It was also not one of the whiskeys I brought home with me during this trip. This whiskey I found on one of my other previous trips to Munich, and I visited a whiskey shop, did a little liquor picking, because I wanted to see what the whiskey scene was like in Munich.
Okay.
And I did.
Do you have anything that's German?
Yeah, called Slyrs.
Slyrs?
Yeah, 45 minutes by car far away. In
Okay.
the Alps and from the Bavarian lake. And yeah.
Which one would you recommend? I'm limited to what I can.
So the yellow one, that's the standard, that's a smooth, balanced one.
Okay.
But you say you're looking more for the specific ones. For example, I really like the 51%. And we also have sherry port cask. So
Okay.
we have a lot of flavor, nice explosion of flavor, very deep, complex. They also done, that's the newest version, a peaty one.
A peated one, okay.
Yeah,
I like the peated scotches.
Yeah, from German peat.
Okay.
But it's more like, I would describe it as a summer peat.
Okay.
So you taste it absolutely, but it's more light. It's not like 50 ppm like Isla Karsk or like Lafroig or
Okay.
Berlin, not in this direction. But it's very nice. I really like it. And then they also have a 12 years old one. So one of the oldest one what they have. That's also more smooth, balanced, and more elegant.
Okay. And do you have any one of these at home in your own collection?
Yeah, I have the 51.
You have the 51?
I'm a big fan of the 51. Yeah.
Okay, you sold me. I'll take the 51.
All right. Yeah.
All right, and I'll take this off.
I did a little liquor picking. I talked to a store clerk, and he said that Slyrs 51 was his favorite Slyrs whiskey. So I actually brought this one home on that trip, and he told me about the Slyrs distillery and that it was a Bavarian whiskey distillery. And so at that time is when I decided I wanted to visit the Slyrs distillery. So this is going to be the one that we try today and see what we think. I was not able to try this one when we went to on the distillery tour, so I thought it'd be a good one to start with, since it introduced me to Slyrs, and since I did not try it on the distillery tour. Let's give ourselves a pour. Put a little bit in our Slyrs snifter. I actually just cracked this one open today. I have not even cracked this bottle yet since I bought it, and I've had this bottle for, well, I don't know, been a long time. Been waiting for just the right moment, and I guess the right moment is to share it with all y'all. Well, the first thing I'm getting is kind of a nuttiness. Getting a nuttiness on that. It's called Slyrs 51 because it is one of their higher proof at 102 proof, 51 because it's 51% ABV. And I was just curious because I'm not, that 100, 110 proof is like my sweet spot. And that nuttiness is what's profound on this. I'm not getting a lot of sweet. maybe a slight hint of some sort of like a green or grassy notes almost. Let's give it a taste and see what we got in the palate. On the palate, there's a little bit more sweet, like a dark fruit. Hard for me to draw out dark fruits. I always want to say fig, maybe more like a prune or something. But then when I go back to the nose on this after taking that first swallow, those green notes come out a little bit stronger. almost like pine. Like I'd be in a pine forest. A nuttiness and a pine. The nose is quite nice. That 102 proof goes well on this one. Good single malt. One thing I will note on this, when we're at the Slyrs distillery, most of the whiskeys we tried, like their classic, was a very nice sweet vanilla whiskey. Very good whiskey. This one does not have that sweetness to it. On the finish, this one is quite dry. Not typically a whiskey that I lean towards when I get a whiskey, but that I have to say that nutty, pine. I have to say pine notes. That nuttiness, that pine. And then that little bit of deep. I'm gonna roll with like prunes or figs or something on there. Just a hint, such a hint of it on there, and then that dry finish to end it all makes for a nice whiskey. So Slyrs 51, the whiskey that introduced me to Slyrs, gave me the desire to go see their distillery, which I did here just about a week and a half ago, and brought a couple of their other bottles home. And I'll take a look at those the rest of this week. So, as you all know, I'd love to see you coming back. Check out what we do here at HazeandBarrelCraftworks. So please take it easy.